run this game without any sort of performance enhancing drugs.
What is up, YouTube? Welcome to a celebration of one of the coolest opportunities I have ever had the opportunity to be a part of. It was amazing. This is going to be the entirety of the playtest that I was invited to do for the new game coming out called Ascendent. We did end up streaming it, but because of the content community managers as well as all the different content creators that were involved, there was a lot of different voices happening all at the same time. So I couldn't be my super happy, super expressive, extremely descriptive, very entertaining person that I normally am, but instead we decided to make this kind of more of a voiceover description of the emotions I was going through during each of the rounds and my overall experience of the game and my rating of it at the end as well. Thank you so much for checking this video out. It really does mean a lot. But without further ado, let's hop right on into the tutorial of Ascendant. Now, something that's super interesting that this game and the development team has decided to do is they created a open world lobby experience as you're playing the game. It is amazing. It reminded me a lot of the original Destiny tower from Destiny 1D1, or even the tower that's currently in D2, even though that doesn't even come close to the standards of D1, and time for a completely different video breakdown of me destroying the differences between the towers. So this is the first time we've ever actually seen this nice lobby, open world, explorative experience. There's a shooting range, there's a bunch of different vendors that you can use for different currencies you earn throughout the game, as well as a lot of different customization areas like a barber shop. It feels very much like an MMO small city. I thought it was really, really cool. It's a great idea. It adds a lot to the experience, but I couldn't actually participate in the game itself or the mini games they wanted us to play without finishing the tutorial, so I didn't get to explore it here. We will get back to the city as the video continues. Right now, I'm going to be hopping into the exact how to play version of this game and what the actual objective is in this 3v3v3v3 12-person shooter. Here is our first dive into the actual world that they have created. This is the battleground. This is where all of the combat will take place when you enter your actual games. In the 3v3v3v3, I guess we'll just call it 12-man battleground from this point forward, the art team has completely taken control. You can see how gorgeous, crystal clear all of the environment textures are, as well as how beautiful the guns themselves look and feel. Here you see me fighting some of the cardboard cutouts of some of the PvE monsters we will come across. Snails seemed to be the most abundant of those, but there is a separate, larger, more dangerous PvE monster called a gore lizard, which is basically a lizard gorilla that roams the map, and you might even be able to find yourself taking control of a gore lizard in future versions of the game. As we continue through the tutorial, the main thing I want to focus on is the actual objective of the game. Now, we are learning how to play the game here, which is basically kill monsters, kill players, collect power, and spend power on upgrades or different sort of buffs that you might be able to use against your enemies to be able to ultimately collect what they are calling a biocore. You can see me grabbing one here. The biocores are the main objective, very capture the flag style, that's what they kept describing it as. But after grabbing your biocore, you'll be able to activate your ultimate, and this is the thing that makes the game very interesting. Every character's loadout is unique. There are many different ultimates in the game. They let us test the explosion version that you are seeing me use here, where you basically become a very explosive walking man, where eventually and occasionally during combat you can activate your biocore, which does nothing besides expend its ultimate energy to do whatever your ultimate would be. There was many different versions of this, as I said. The one that I liked the most was the leap. There was one that lets you leap pretty much halfway across the map, and in a capture the flag style game like this is, that is extremely powerful. I will say it was a fun objective. Not all Battleground games are entertaining, in my opinion. I really do like search and destroy style games, and this kind of tickles that side of my fancy. Here I'm bringing the biocore back to one of my extraction points. I believe there's many different ways to extract, but with my limited gameplay experience, I can't talk too much on that. But similar to Hunt Showdown, you basically put it into the back of this wagon-like vehicle and defend it from other players for a time until it can be departed and put in. While you are hunting biocores, and that is the main part of the objective of the game, you will use these biocores back in the open world tower that we talked about earlier to be able to buy permanent upgrades for your loadout. Now, this is where we get into kind of the scary aspect of the game and the balancing issues, which is, of course, if you are starting right now and you have never collected a biocore, you will automatically be at a hindrance against other players. Now, the development team did assure us that every player will always start the game with the exact same access to 5 weapons. You choose which weapons you want to go into, but you can create custom weapons in the tower using these biocores or other currencies you earn to give them better sights, to give them silencers, interesting, really cool weapon effects like splash weapons, kind of similar to how the legendary or exotic weapons work in Destiny, where if you shoot a bullet, it'll spread into many different bullets, and other sort of really fun gun mechanics like that. But you can only access those in-game if you collect enough power, going back to killing all of those snails, players, and other objectives, different quests during the game to be able to get as much power as possible to get the best weapons you have created back in this cool tower loadout that we are running around in now. We are about to start our first game. I'm not going to show too much of the games themselves, but just know all of the content creators that were involved were amazing. I loved playing with everybody. The development team and the community management team for this game was phenomenal. Very, very lovely people. Would strongly recommend following all of them on social media, and everyone that I played with that I can remember, link socials in the description of this video below if you want to go check out any of them or follow their story as they continue making content for this game. So in the game itself, you basically load in and there are random drop zones, basically what I can tell, all on the outskirts in the forest areas of the map. You'll spawn with your 3v players. You'll see that we're using many of our different weapons here. One of them actually does heal, so you can have someone as a support role. There's a sniper rifle you see me using here. There's a battle rifle, a shotgun, and I think also a submachine gun that you get access to from the very beginning. The game itself is fun. The gunplay is extremely fun. The NPCs are very dynamic, and I think they're very interesting to add to the gameplay. The power collection aspect of things is what I think draws this game to a new level. So here we're fighting the very first gore lizard we've ever seen. Red is a rarer version. You can see that they drop better items such as armor, very similar to the way that Apex Legends armor drops, or at least used to drop. Now that they use their Evo system, it's a bit different. But here, the armor upgrades between white, which is 1 cell, blue, which is 2 cells, purple, which is 3 cells, and I don't know if I ever saw one that was more than 3, but it seems like on their UI there is a space for a 4th cell somewhere down the road. There are vehicles to help you travel across large areas of the map. I'd like to quickly bring up a point of looking at the UI. You can check out and see that we each have 3 lives, as well as notice all of the power that we have collected. Here is the very first shop, and there are many different shops across the map, but they all basically sell the same thing. You deposit your power into the shop, and you can use that power collectively that all of your teammates have gathered to buy things that you will permanently spawn with throughout the game afterward. So if you die after you've collected a blue shield from a gore lizard, you will not spawn with a blue shield. The only way to spawn with a blue shield is to actually purchase one from the shop with power you have collected. This is also where you'll be able to buy your custom weapons that we talked about upgrading earlier, or grenades or other support things like shield boosters, such as regenerating your shields, or health medkits. Here you can see we are in our first combat with a different team. I will say I did win every game we played, but I think that was due to my teammates. I was still figuring out a lot of things, and I might have just been a lucky teammate here. I mean, I am getting kills, don't get me wrong, But on one of the games, one of my teammates got 20 kills, and I can't say I collaborated too much on that effort. Something I forgot to talk about was that there's only 3 biocores to collect per a round. So potentially one team will never get a biocore, or one team will get multiple biocores. You can see, looking at the AI and the actual minimap itself, that we are heading towards Tower A, which has almost been secured by an enemy team. Knowing that, using our UI, we know that we're in for a bit of a fight heading into it, but with our blue shields ready, weapons in arms, we decide to try to retake it, making short work of whichever team was defending the core at its time. It actually becomes pretty much ready to grab right when we get there, perfect timing. I think a little bit more luck than skill when it comes to the timing of that. Something interesting that someone playing the game with me on this team had already discovered from playing previous tests was you can use the biocore while they're in the tower to do stuff like airstrikes. Some of them let you do an EMP drop that will disrupt enemy shields as you're running by them, and other kill strike reward things. We grab our first biocore and we are directly heading back to our extraction zone. Here you can see that we selected to do an airstrike. It doesn't appear that the damage actually happens to us as we're running around, but I did think this was a nice way to reward those that defended the biocore and retrieved it themselves. Something also interesting is, if you notice on the UI, after being the team that pulls the biocore out of its spawn point, you and all of your teammates will earn another life. So rather than sitting at 3, we are currently collectively sitting at 4. Also, in the times that we have defeated enemy teams, we haven't collected a lot of power, which still means the best source of power collection is NPCs. As we are approaching our highlighted extraction point, I get very nostalgic feelings for Hunt Showdown. This is basically putting it in the back of that wagon and trying to defend it from the other teams that might want to try to steal it at the last second. Here, a team has ambushed us, or tried to ambush us, only for us to get third-partied by a separate team. A lot of these forced conflict moments in the game will create some of the coolest clips in gaming to date. A lot of these new Battle Royale brawlers only get these at the end of matches when the rings or the zones are closing in. Here you're going to get multiple opportunities to get these high intense moments at extraction and at retrieval. Something that I think will make this game extremely successful and very exciting. I mean, just let the experience and gameplay speak for itself. Here we're using some of our thermal scan grenades to be able to see the enemy team's location, as well as smoke grenades to cover ourselves. We're being attacked on all flanks, doing our best to make sure that no one is extracting the core from our little wagon. We are currently fighting all 3 enemy teams for this one point. You will notice on the UI that point B is ready to be extracted, but everyone wanted A, and it was very, very fun. I hinted earlier in the game that you will be able to take over a gore lizard and use it as a weapon if you developed enough power. One of the teams ambushed our team here with that lizard, and there was a bit of a bug with sound. We had no warning of it happening, and initially we were all actually confused because we thought it was just an NPC. Unfortunately, because of that bug, we do end up losing the core here, which meant we now had to go chase the enemy team, who were being protected by this giant ninja-like gore lizard from extracting it themselves. We lose a couple of lives, respawn, and get back into it. Overall, this whole experience has been incredible. I won't be showing much more of this round or the game itself. If you want the full entire stream, please go check out my VODs on Twitch or on YouTube itself. They'll be on for a little bit longer, but this will be the permanent remembrance of this day. As we watch from this point forward, basically me and my team getting rampaged by all the different vehicle options that you can take over if you have enough power in the game itself, I did want to give it a rating and my thoughts. I do think this will be a massive game in the shooter genre. I think this will be very, very fun and will have a nice niche market. Its only concern is the detriment of balance and playtime. If you play the game a lot, you're going to be very strong. If you're brand new to it, you're going to have an uphill climb towards learning the ropes and getting weapons that you feel satisfied with that will make you stronger. Overall, with a straight up 1 out of 10 rating, I give this an 8 out of 10. I think it's definitely going to have a place on my computer installed and ready to play whenever I want some fast action-paced fun with my friends, all depending on price tags and seasonal events, how they actually do the pacing for unlocking cosmetics and collectibles, the entire customization option of your character, which we didn't even talk about much into this. We briefly saw it at the beginning of this video, but you can change every hue, color, saturation on every item that you unlock in the game. It's amazing. Give it a go. Watch other content creators to get more perspective views. Watch the whole stream to get all of it. I want to give one last thank you and shout out to the creative development team at Ascendent. Thank you so much for having me out. I'm very excited for this game, and I look forward to being able to participate in future events as well as try this out in the beta with all of you. Thank you so much for checking out this video. It really does mean a lot. If you want more information on Ascendant, please go to their website at ascendant.com, link in the description below, and sign up for their open beta, which is happening soonish. And August 2nd and August 3rd will be a different content creation event. I will be unable to participate in that, but we might be able to stream watch it on August 3rd because I'll be getting back from my trip at that time. Thank you so much once again to everyone who has participated in this and for all of you for watching. Until next time, guys, play smart, play with your heart, and always be red-nosed. Catch you guys next time. Bye!